Hi, everybody. There's actually quite a few of you watching already. There's 12 people here. Hi, how's it going? I'm probably not live on YouTube. I got to fix that. YouTube is rejecting my input for some reason. But I figured since there's so many of you here already, I would start talking right away. I got some news. It's behind me. We're going to talk about that in a moment. And then we're going to do a proper VCAT info session. We're actually going to change worlds to do that. And that's going to require being not in a group public instance because of the way that VRChat's trusted URLs work, because I'd like to use Slide and App to do it. So we're going to set that up. But we're going to wait. So if you'd like to join us here, we have a group, of course. It is VCAT GT 3224, right there on the screen. Right there, VCAT GT 3224, and you will find us. There's been an announcement, like a public announcement. You can find the group very, very easily in VRChat. You can join on mobile, or you can join on your Quest, because we're in a Quest compatible world. And I'll be giving an info session essentially on what VCAT is about, how to sign up, some additional new information that has happened because we've extended things just a tiny bit. Due to a bug with iOS, so you've got until the 19th now to apply, but that doesn't mean you should wait. Let's see. Behind me, though, is today's news, the biggest thing, the coolest thing that has happened, besides the fact that I have a microphone now. Besides this, there is also a graphic behind me that we're going to look at right now. Let me just turn this off, and we'll take a quick peek at that. I'm gonna hide this over here for just a moment. Maybe I'll just give it the shadow here. All right, so we've got so of course we have the midpoint. So we are at the midpoint right now, and I was hoping that this graphic would come out, and then all of a sudden it came out of nowhere, and everybody started working on it, and I was super duper happy about this, and now we finally have it. So this is probably the best way to get a really good idea of what the current status of applications for VCAT are, and how many people are here, and what worlds you should select and look at before you apply. You can also, of course, adjust your VCAT applications midway through while we're in that period, because the application itself, you can adjust which worlds you want to be in based on how loaded they are. So if you're doing a multi-application, the odds of you getting into an item or an item booth or a avatar booth are really high. So the current status update is we have 1,014 individual groups of people that have already applied as of March 11th, which was 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So 2 days ago. The space exhibitions are pretty interesting. Now, the important thing to remember is this is just first choice applications. So these are the way the applications work, and we'll talk about that if you haven't seen it before. But the way the applications work is that you pick your top 3 worlds in the categories that you are in, or category that you're in, and this is just showing first choice applications, not second choice. So maybe you chose Deep Mist, and Voltigeur. If you picked those 3, your number is only counted for Deep Mist. So that gives you an idea of how many people have applied. There's an enormous amount here, and this is the numbers as they stand right now. So what this means is you have a 1 in 2 chance of getting into Deep Mist first visit as of the 11th. A little better than 1 in 2 for Final Harvest. A little less than 1, or a little more than 1 in 2 for O Edo Mechanica, and so on as things go down. As we go down the worlds list here, most of the spaces are basically full, but that doesn't mean that you won't be selected. It just means the odds are not 50-50, right? But you have a second choice and a third choice. So, for example, if Deep Mist Final Harvest was definitely your first choice, then you could also stick a vote into Cocoon Art Aquarium Redive Pulse, and your second choice would probably be guaranteed. Right now, that world does not have all of its potential spaces taken up. So you could almost guarantee that you'll get in. Now, this will probably get to full by the end of the application period, which has now been extended to the 19th of March. So that'll give you a little bit more time for people to come in. And we're going to do sessions like this to encourage people to come in. Now, the odds, again, you can rearrange where your stuff is. But if you do a multi-type exhibit, you can choose exhibits from all kinds. You can do space exhibits. You can also choose things like regular item exhibits and avatar exhibits as well. And that gives you a first, second, and third choice for all of those types of exhibitions. You might get selected for 2. That can happen, but you don't have to accept the second one. But I do recommend, if you go in for 2 and you get a couple, and you feel like you have the assets or whatever it is to build it out, do that. Okay, so We've got quite a few people here, but basically, right now under avatar exhibitions, first of all, the most guaranteed thing you can possibly do at the moment, like the most guaranteed thing you can possibly do at the moment, is gonna be the avatar exhibitions and if you, especially if you have VRChat's creator economy. Okay, so we're gonna drop a portal. We are gonna drop a portal to a group instance, so that we can do slide and app and go through some of this stuff. And a couple of other housekeeping things, just real quick. We are one, live streaming on Twitch. Two, we are also right now at going to be part of the VRChat awards tomorrow. So the VRCAs. So that's happening tomorrow. And there'll be watch parties and other things like that, and we'll be announcing those relatively soon. So you probably want to be part of that. And again, if you want to join us in here, it's VCatGT3224. But yeah, for now, let's grab a portal real quick, and we'll go to a place we can do slide and app. Hold on. Hey guys, so we're back. Let's see. All right, so I've got slide and app behind me. Bear with me here. I'm going to make sure that we put some slides on. Let me get some background music in here too while we're at it.
Good idea. Today? Don't answer that.
Lan, you also know them.
Yeah. Yes.
Wait, what am I getting here?
Okay.
Oh yeah, there you go. Join.
You can see this? You guys can see this?
The virtual market info session.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to go through this and talk about what this is all about. Real quick, though, I'm also, if you could, Shadow, could you load the Twitch also over there just in case? That way, anybody joining any other, or this instance or anything else, will know what's going on. Okay, and then we'll see how that BGM is on Twitch. If you guys are here on the stream, just say hi. I know there's 6 or 7 of you. I'm gonna quickly, before I get started, I'm just gonna quickly fix the my YouTube for 1 minute. I'm streaming just about everywhere except there, so just a moment. Alrighty. Just gonna go live there real quick. That should be fixed now. Good stuff. Okay, cool. Alrighty, Roo. Alrighty, so thanks again for coming to this info session. This one is in Euro time. If you have anybody who would like to come to this, or you think might make a really good VCAT exhibitor, this is a great place to start. Bringing them to this and allows us to kind of go through all the different things you'll be able to do, as well as the kinds of things that we're looking for this upcoming VCAT. So yeah, there's a lot that you can do, but I still think looking at being a regular exhibitor is probably the best starting point when it comes to building a booth, or at least applying. There's no real there's no obligation once you're here. There's no cost involved either, unless you get selected for a full-size booth or an item booth in the mainline worlds. But the cost in US dollars is around $20 if you get a full-size booth, right? Everything else is fairly affordable. Regular creator economy booths inside some of our worlds are completely free, and the item and avatar booths are also they're under $5 once you get in. And that money really is just there to make sure that there's an investment and encouragement to complete the booths. If it was free, people would just sign up, and then just if they decide they didn't want to do it, they would just leave an empty slot there after accepting. And we don't want that. So that payment process makes sure that the event is full of lots of fun things to see and do, and that's really the purpose behind that. But if you are already a creator economy member, you'll get some bonuses, and we'll talk about that too. But here's how it goes. Here's the basic schedule of what things are going to be. We've got, this is essentially the contents of this slideshow. What's VCAT, the schedule, the VCAT world itself, the event itself, how to sign up, and some basic information on how the submission process goes. Now, since we're in the sign-up period that runs until the 19th, you are not required to have anything ready at all at this point. At all. Nothing. You're just essentially registering your interest, and we don't even hold the lottery until later. So let's move on. So what's VCAT? Virtual Market is the largest virtual event of its kind, period, in the world. We have the Guinness World Record to prove it, and we've been doing this for quite some time. Since 2018, this I think will be our 17th or 18th event now, and then of course it's capped off with a huge in the real world convention called VCAT Real. This event shows up in VRChat every 6 months. We do one in the summer and one in the wintertime. This one coming up is for the summer, and we'll be in the home world inside VRChat. We'll be in your quick menu, and there'll be about 19 or 20 worlds. We're going to talk about those right now. This is the exhibition schedule, though. So we're in this period here. This new chart is a little bit out of date. We have, so instead of it ending on the 16th, it's going to run until the 19th. So the announcement of the lottery results actually happens a little bit later than the 25th, but just after the 25th. So that's when the actual lottery results go in. So you're registering your interest in here now, and to do that, you go to vcat.com. It's just vket.com. And that has all the info. Signing up is really easy. You just need a Google or iOS or Microsoft account or Line account, and that's it. You just sign up and say which worlds you'd like to be in. We'll show you the flowchart of how that works in a second. But the lottery is going to happen around the 25th. I think a couple days after that now. So then a few days later, we have a payment deadline if you get selected for one of the ones you have to pay for. But you also just have to click and say, yes, I accept my placement in VCAT. And once you've done that, you're good. If you are in creator economy, like VRChat's creator economy, if you put your avatar listing ID in at that point, you will essentially get a higher level of selection for it. So in second round, you're effectively guaranteed to get in with that process. So if you already have an ID. If you guys have any questions too, feel free to ask as we go here.
Another question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Is not able to join the one who was in the other instance.
Are they following? Are they in our group?
Yes, they joined the group just now.
Okay, so if they join the group and they click events in the group listing, they should be able to see the instance tied to the event in there now.
Join.
They'll see it from there. Because it's tied, so the event is actually like attached to the instance now. So it should be pretty easy to get into. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do a second lottery as well. So anybody who didn't accept their placement in there, or if there's additional slots, we do a second lottery in April, and that like at the very beginning of April, and that essentially just grabs the last set of people to fill out all of the world applications. And there's a small payment deadline for that as well, and then we go. After that, we do the submission period about a month later. So there's a whole 30 days in between. When submissions start. So basically, from the point where you figure out you're in VCAT and when you need to start putting things into VCAT is a month. So that's when you should start building a Unity scene or using VCAT Booth Maker to put something together, right? That's the time you want to take to start building things, and then you can start submitting your products and booths and that sort of thing on the 8th of May or so. Then the preview worlds will show up a couple days later, and you'll be able to actually go into VCAT worlds early and check it out from there. And then after that, you register your catalog, and then VCAT starts in earnest. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the all the cool VCAT worlds that we have here as well in just a moment. But I'll give it a little bit of time for your friends to get in here. And once again, if you want to join us, it is awesome. Perfect. So once again, it is VCAT GT. Oh, no worries. That's awesome. It's great to have so many people from a lot of different places all over the world. Let me give you. I guess I'll talk about this a little bit because it's kind of fun. One good thing about the global side of things is that we're not just we're not just like North America, Canada, USA. Yeah, it's also UK, Germany, South Korea, Hong Kong. We got people in Poland, Reykjavik. Yeah, it's Polish. So we have people who speak every language. We got friends in France, people like Madame Kana and other folks like that. So it is very, very international, and we love to have like people from all over the world. Many of our members speak many different languages. They speak French and Spanish and Brazilian, Portuguese. We've got friends. Yeah, people who speak Japanese, of course. So it's definitely a very global community over here, and I'm really glad that I get to work with them. So there's 4 kinds of worlds. What you're looking at here is just the types, right? So you've got your corporate worlds, you've got your creator worlds, you've got the remakes of previous creator worlds from previous VCATs, or our re-creator worlds, and then we have one cross-platform world. But the good thing about that is we have instances of that. So there's lots and lots more content inside of each of these, and we've actually bumped up the number of worlds this time. So the starting point is that every VCAT has an overall arching theme. Last year was keys and gates, or being discovered or discovery, and this year is heat or fire. The opening world is called Ignition Point, and it's going to have a fun stage that you can hang out in. It's going to have the ability to do things like slide an app, and it's also going to have every single world portal that we have. It's also going to include other gimmicks that you can use, things from our ambassadors, all kinds of general information, and it's a cross-platform world. So it's a good place to start. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great place to sort of hang out during VCAT, right? This is the key art for Ignition Point, so look forward to that. I'm pretty excited for it myself, and I can't wait to start looking at it as it's getting built. So this is going to be the main place where you do it. There's a lot of other features in these worlds, and we're going to talk about those features in a moment too. So next, you have 2 corporate worlds. One is Parareal Broadway, which is of course like a sort of idealized version of New York, but it's also going to be filled with things like it's themed over the arts and jazz, music and live performance, things like that. People go to New York to make it big in show business, and so that's kind of the theme we're going for with this one. And then the second world is going to be Akihabara, and you'll notice there's something else going on here. There's holographic Gundams and giant robots and claw machines and Gachapon and all kinds of stuff going on in in this photo here, and we've got some high res ones that Shadow River's put up over there, as well as with the titles of everything, and we'll kind of go over there afterwards and take a look. But these two worlds exist to essentially carry our sponsors, but the sponsors are not the reason why we do VCAT. The reason why we do VCAT is because we have a lot of people who are submitting stuff to VCAT, right? That's the main reason why, and people come to these worlds for that reason. So the sponsors come to VCAT because there's a lot of people who are already going to be here. We get about 1 million visitors every 6 months, and of course that's very attractive to companies like Canon and Sony and Netflix and Disney and other groups that have done stuff with us, Yamaha, Honda, etc., etc. We will be announcing eventually our corporate sponsors, and that's going to start trickling out. That information is going to start trickling out in the next couple of months. So these worlds are the cherry on top, or like a bonus, and it's one of the things that attracts new users to VRChat to come to VCAT for the first time, because they see, like, you know, their favorite brand, or like, you know, an entertainer or something like that is going to be at VCAT, and so people come, and then in turn they actually get to see the creator worlds as well, which is the real purpose and why we do this. So let's go. Yep. So there we go. Parallel Akiba and Broadway. All right. So creator worlds. We got some really exciting ones coming up right now. We do new ones, and we bring back old ones. Looks a little spooky. Well, we're gonna.
Very spooky, more like world ending.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So Deep Mist to start. So Deep Mist is a Rust Belt Americana style map. In the summertime in Japan, it's a bit of a horror time, right? So like it's a spooky time is the summertime in Japan, and this whole section is generally speaking is going to be a horror map with 2 parts. It's set in like a lake town outside of a major city. There's like cultist themes going on, and there's 2 versions of this map. It should be pretty spooky. It should be pretty fun. If you've been to Komurasaki Village, or if you've been to Anomalous Research Lab, all of the
yeah, that one.
yeah, those features are what you're going to see. They are pretty exciting. People like the horror maps. They've done well. I think these are going to be really fun. There's a lot of interesting themes going on in here. Next, we have O Edo Mechanica. This map is based on if Japan did not open up 385 years ago and went on this sort of steampunk journey of independent technology and that sort of thing. There's 2 parts to this map. It is both, so there's there's Inu and Neko. So there's 2 sides to this. It's like cats and dogs, and those themes are going to sort of carry on. There's 2 different, essentially like 2 different worlds that are part of this, like 2 different regions, like empires that are happening at the same time. But you'll notice, there's like steampunk hoverboards and, people delivering stuff with steampunk hoverboards and airships. So it is essentially like a diesel punk, steampunk wet dream. It should be a pretty fun map to go through. We've got Voltiger as well. This is a arcade themed map. What's really neat about this one as well is that it has a gimmick in it where you can take a portion of your booth, or an item, or like prefab from inside of your booth, and that prefab can be given a script, and that script will allow it to be a prize inside this part of the world, right? So as you try on avatars, you earn coins and other things of that nature. And by earning those coins, you end up being able to like sort of play with this gigantic coin pusher machine in the center. It hits this point where it's like chance time, and then you get flooded with coins and prizes and other things like that. So you'll have a giant version of whatever it is that you throw the script on inside the world, and that'll appear in the center. And players can earn coins and stuff as they go through. So one cool thing about that gimmick as an exhibitor is that, because there's so many hidden things and ways to earn coins inside the map, you're going to want to explore each and every booth, right? And that will encourage people to try yours out, right? There's 3 versions of this world. There is a volcano version, a forest version, and there is also a space version. So all 3. So this is the first world of the set that's going to have 3 like complete, like full worlds, right? So normal. It's Voltiger, Voltager, and then they have 3 different like versions of that. There's volcano, forest, and space, and they'll be different themed, like color themed, and sometimes they'll have a little bit more. Like they all have writing prompts as well, and you'll see those in here. So, let's see. Doesn't show up on the camera, sorry.
Can you stop?
Yes, please stop. Alright. Would you guys mind clearing this for me? So one thing, please, don't interrupt me. Like, we don't need that. We got a lot of friendos here, and it isn't even a public session. That is too bad. Thanks. All right, so Voltiger, 3 worlds, 3 this time. It should be pretty good. So we're trying to get more than 600 additional exhibitors here. It should be pretty fun. So Poppy Street, this one's actually pretty special. I've done an article on this that you can find over on my Medium page back in 2023, talking about how VRChat is an excellent way to explore and travel without having to spend the money to travel. And Poppy Street is a great example of that. There's a street in Japan called Golden Gai, where a lot of like artists and musicians and different people hang out and talk and sort of like de-stress from the week. And Poppy Street is Japan's real version, or VRChat's version of that. This map is in collaboration with the owner of Poppy Street, which is Coquelicot. He's been doing gray boxing and maps for us at VCAT for many, many, many years. And of course, this map is incredibly popular. It's almost like Japan VRChat's Black Cat, in a sense. And this map is incredibly popular with a large number of people. And this is, again, it's amazing. But we're redesigning it with his blessing, essentially, and building it out to a different kind of exhibitor space where you have storefronts with posters and all that sort of thing. So we have the Recreator Worlds. These are the ones we're bringing back. And Cocoon Art Aquarium is one of them. The other cool thing about this one is it's another three map world. So there'll be like red, purple, and blue themed. So there will be 3 versions of Cocoon Art Aquarium. This was a fan favorite. This map it's essentially like a fantastical aquarium that's 100 meters under the sea. You get into a submarine and go down and explore. That one's super fun. And there's a cafe, a bar, and a restaurant at the end as sort of a prize. But on top of that, there's also this incredible interdimensional or interstellar echolocation system that's inside the map as part of the lore. Highly recommend checking it out. And one of the cool things about the Recreator Worlds is if you want, you can go to the existing ones to check it out, because it's going to be very similar. Usually we just enhance the world a little bit, we improve the mechanics of it a little bit, make it a little bit better performant, and you can actually go and check out the older Cocoon Art Aquarium worlds way before VCAT starts. So and the other 2 that we have here, so you'll be able to actually go in and see what they look like before you build your booth. I should mention in this one it's got like an enclosed area for your booth, just the front is visible. Go ahead.
When you say the realistic one, you didn't mention IRL, right?
I'm sorry,
When you said realistic one, you meant VRChat.
You mean for Poppy Street?
Cocoon.
Oh, Cocoon Art Aquarium.
You said the realistic
Oh, it's like a...
you meant IRL.
No. Actually, yeah, Cocoon Art Aquarium is very similar to in some ways to the Ginza Art Aquarium. Like, it's designed to be, it's sort of inspired by it. And not Shinjuku, but there's Shimada Aquarium. There's another, I've been to a bunch, but there's one.
Yeah, I will be there too.
There's one in Tokyo, right under the Tokyo Skytree, and there's one in Ginza, and they're designed to be an art aquarium, and so this is there's some inspiration. Having been to those aquariums, there's some inspiration in here by those places as well, which is really neat. All right. Arcdella Rediscovered. This is a fantasy map, sort of in the same universe as, at least it theorized that it's in the same universe as Starship Orchestra. And this map has a bit of timey-wimey stuff going on, a whole lot of other things like that. It's really fun, and has a 2-part like sort of puzzle adventure theme to it. And this map was again a super fan favorite. So I'm really happy to bring more people back and check this one out as well. Let's see. Sky Park Renew. So Sky Park, this is sort of an indoor theme park. It's like the Mall of America and other indoor theme parks, but it's also a mall. In here is a giant Ferris wheel. Last time we had this huge like SNS machine that would essentially you'd take a picture or you'd post and see if your post went viral. It was kind of like a gacha random game. But also inside it has this beautiful setup where as you go by each booth, they're manually occluded, so they sort of reveal themselves as you go by. So the world runs really well and it can fit a lot of types of avatars. The whole point of this is to for humanoids or outfits or the kinds of things like to treat it a bit like a mall, right? So we tend to get a lot of like your standard booth style models, but we'd love to get more of like the popular humanoid types that you see in places like Jinxie and Gumroad and Payhip. We would love to see those kinds of friends come in and try this out as well. Sky Park is an excellent map. And a favorite as well of mine. So it's just a great looking world. And of course, you can go check it out. You can go check out previous Sky Park maps right now and be part of that and see what it looks like before you apply. These maps, and we're going to go over to the midway point wherever it went. We're going to go over to the midway point and take a look at how many slots are left. In Sky Park in particular and Ardella, there should be more spaces available than in the previous in the new maps. So the new maps are always very, very popular. People are going to go for those right away. But if you want a guaranteed in, these ones will probably be your best bet. We also have one cross-platform world, which is the Alta Vista Focus. Now, it also has 3. So instead of getting 6 maps, or 2 for each one, for 3 of the maps, we have 3, so there's 9 available maps, so we have a lot more room than we had before, so at least 600 or more circles can enter this time in this VCAT, so your odds of getting in are much, much higher, and people, I think, seem to know that, because we have over 1,000 or 1,100 people who have applied now, and we'll look at that again in a moment, but there's a lot, so there's a lot of folks that are in there. All right, let's talk about VCAT events. Oh, there's a couple other things. We'll talk about this too, but importantly, Alta Vista Focus. If you are in Creator Economy, if you have an avatar in VRChat's Creator Economy, or you would like to be in Creator Economy, I highly recommend signing up for Creator Economy now, and then you'll be able to apply as a Creator Economy user into the Alta Vista. Now, the reason why we actually don't make you make that selection or show your avatar ID in the Creator Economy when you first sign up is because we want you to sign up for the Creator Economy if you're not already ahead of time during the submission process, and if you mention that you're applying for VCAT, the odds that you'll be added to Creator Economy is much, much higher, and VRChat will look at your entry a little bit faster, and you're more likely to get accepted into Creator Economy early compared to normal, so which is pretty based. So if you go into, normally when you apply to Creator Economy, they're very selective about who they get in. But if you have a good portfolio, they'll definitely let you in. But if you say you're getting into Creator Economy to apply for VCAT, they're more likely to get you in. And then once you have an ID, we actually select users from the Creator Economy first when we run the lottery. So we run 2 lotteries. The people in the Creator Economy get selected first, and then everyone else second. So it's sort of a skip the line trick when it comes to this, because we want to encourage VRChat, like the economy in VRChat. We want to help VRChat as well, and so because this is the host of our event, so there is some bonus to that. You can use Creator Economy avatars in every single world, but this one specifically, you have to have cross-platform avatars, and it's ideal to have Creator Economy. But you can use Booth or Jinxie or Gumroad or both. You can have all 3, because some people like to sell avatars on the Creator Economy, but also give people the option of buying the version that they can customize. So you can have both. You can have both buttons available. All right, VCAT events. This is free to do and a lot of fun, actually. And in fact, if you're sneaky, if you go to the website now and you scroll to the bottom of VCAT.com, there is a hub button. And believe it or not, you can already make events several months in advance if you want to. So you can create an event on the website right now, which is kind of sneaky. We haven't very publicly said that, but this is the most public way I can say it, I guess. So VCAT stage, that's the first place you can host an event if you'd like to. Of course, you can host an event anywhere you'd like, but it's good to gather in a VCAT world because it'll bring more users and new users to you as well. VCAT stage, this is the last stage from the previous Winter World. It has, it's set up for music. It has audio link. It's got lighting effects that people can control manually. It has slide and app and microphones and all kinds of other stuff that you might need. Speaking of microphones, I probably should have grabbed one, but yeah, this is the entrance room. It's set up for live performances. It's got an audio zone on it. It's set up for slide and app, and it's very public. It's cross-platform. and it has a bunch of cool information. We try to continuously improve this stage every year. I'm hoping to get a little bit more time with it this VCAT coming up, and hopefully it'll be even better than it's ever been. We've had a bunch of events happen there, but VCAT stage is a good place to start if you need a video player. The second thing is VCAT Lounge. VCAT Lounge is sort of a collaborative RP space, but it's great for doing avatar try-ons. If you have an RP group, if you want to host a maid cafe, if you want to do like a general meet and greet, or you're a VTuber or something like that. Sometimes there's some gimmicks like eatable food and other things that are in there. There's also some really cool effects. We have the ability to take like your regular stamp, slap it onto a board in the world, and it will show up on your camera as long as you're inside the zone. We also have things like a microphone and that sort of thing. Typically speaking, we do VCAT events in VCAT Lounge. We usually have in one or more like worlds. Like a good place might be Cocoon Art Aquarium because it's got a section there. It's not guaranteed it'll be there, but it might be. And then we usually do put one in the of the VCAT lounges in one of the Parareal worlds as well. No guarantees, I don't know yet. None of that's super mega confirmed yet, but that was how it was last time. So we had one inside Parareal Shinjuku and one inside of Kowloon, which is what you're seeing here. There's also events that can happen with collaborations as well. So we collaborate with large communities inside VRChat. We have a collaboration forum that's still up right now. So if you have a large community in VRChat and you'd like to get your community into VCAT, it's free if you get through. Those large communities, we only have 14 slots for those booths, and usually half of them are Japanese and the other half are English. So there's really only 7 slots for this. So we always recommend that you apply to both regular VCAT and VCAT Community Collab if you want to do it, because you can have a community booth even if you don't have or you can have a booth for your community in VCAT, or a space for your community in VCAT, even without having a community, like a community space, right? This is a special kind of booth that we hand select. Here's our ad for that. You can find it on all of our stuff. The deadline is the 16th of March at the moment. We may push it back a day or two, but yeah, the 16th. So in 3 days, this is done. Right? So we may push this back a little bit, but maybe not, because it's unrelated to the other sign up that was blocked for a little bit. So yes, consider the end is Monday. So if you have a community booth, or you have a large community, or even a small community, and you've got some cool things you want to showcase at VCAT, please apply. We'd love to have you. It's a Google form. You can find this on our Discord. Which you can find by searching Discord community and just typing in virtual market. You can also find this link on our Blue Sky and on our X. It's envcat on X, and it's en.vcat.com on Blue Sky, and a bunch of other places. It's essentially a Google form. This is an example of some of those larger booths that we've had. So we've had Jet Ski Rush in Parareal, Hawaii. We've had ICXR, which is the it's an international collegiate XR group. So it's a group of people who do VR in post-secondary education, like at Tokyo University and MIT. These guys are associated with Reality Hack, for example, which is kind of crazy. And they brought their collegiate group of VR and XR enthusiasts into VRChat. We've also had VRC Dancing. We've had the Mighty Gym. We've had the Faceless. We've had Terrors of Nowhere. We've had local police department, and all kinds of other really cool groups have all had community booths with us. On the Japanese side, we've had like large ASMR groups and like comedians and VTuber groups and all kinds of like large groups in VRChat. So when it comes to events, you can do pretty much anything you'd like. This is a great example of what the events interface looks like. So if you go to vcat.com, you scroll down and you click the hub button at the bottom, you can create a community event right there, and they look just like this. This calendar is featured in our worlds. So inside the entrance world and inside any of the worlds with VCAT Lounge and a few other places, we have a dynamic scrolling calendar which shows all the current events coming up for that current date. And in that section, it'll actually show you like what is available and what events are going to be happening during VCAT. And of course, any events that the global team attends will also show up in the VCAT GT group. So you'll be able to find and go to as many of these as possible. You can see up here there was like a Tabe Monofest with Annie Clover, which is kind of crazy. That was held by and organized by our ambassador Mono Monet from V4 Mirai, and with Annie Clover, which is a very large like party group that does real-life rave events. Like there's a club called IV in Tokyo that they essentially sponsored, and they have this giant wall with all of the names of the people that do that. Kudo and Sinrath as well have held less party-style events, more like community showcases. They go through every single booth. People sign up. There's events in Korean. There's been events in different languages, different time zones. Karen did all kinds of events, as well as all kinds of photo sessions and all kinds of things like that. And then we also host official events with our ambassadors and our community collab members. So to create an event, anyone can do this, but there's different tiers of them. There's ambassador events and there's community collab events, which are in their own little sections. You'll see up there. There's official ambassadors. There's collab streams, official streams, and promos and in-venue events. The in-venue events are these ones. These are community events run by people who have a community booth. And then user event announcements is the one that anybody can make, which is the one on the right there. And it looks very similar to this. The promos are all the freebies you can get at VCAT. You'll see this section pop up during the catalog registration period, which is right before VCAT starts, and then you'll be able to see some of the freebies you'll be able to get. Like for example, Universal Entertainment had a free bikini and swimsuit outfit for like all of the most popular booth models, as long as you could beat their casino games, right? All right, so how to sign up? Basically, you just go to vcat.com, and on the top right, you'll sign in. Right, so there's you can sign in with SSO, so you can use Google or Microsoft or Line or a bunch of other things to get signed in. Oh, iOS, Apple as well, if your Apple account, and like your iCloud account. And then once you've signed in, you just click this little button here, this one, that one, the red one, that one. So you click this button, and it creates an exhibition. If you're a company, or you work for a company, or you work for marketing in a company, and you'd like to apply for VCAT as well, we're still taking those. So it's a very good marketing spend. So if you work in social media, for example, and you're used to spending a certain amount on Google or YouTube ads or Twitch ads, that sort of thing, you might want to consider being at VCAT, because having an ad here is far more effective. It gets way more eyeballs on it, and we have TP strapped to our face. So we can't look away from the commercial. We're in the commercial, right? We are the commercial. It's super fun. So doing a corporate exhibition is good. If you're from the West and you'd like to do one, please email me. It's lun@vrhiggy.com. What else? So once you've done the exhibitor sign up or click this button here, you're going to click this purple button, and then you're going to get taken to this page. You're going to make something called a circle. You can be a member of as many circles as you want to be, and you can have as many members in your circle as you can. So what's really important is that even after the exhibition lottery period happens, if you didn't get in the lottery, you can still apply to be a VCAT exhibitor, or still essentially become a VCAT exhibitor by attending the progress meetups that happen in this world. We organize a bunch of these. Shadow River likes to do them as well, like every week, or multiple times a week, and people get together, showcase how they're doing in their booths. They put the booths on their avatars and show them off and all that sort of thing, and it's a great place to meet other like-minded people, or you can also do that in our Discord, and you can join their circle even after the event submission period has started. So a circle can have as many people as you want in it. It's just like having a table at a real convention, and because there's a limited number of spaces in VCAT, but you can definitely get in. I've done booths that have like 15 people in them, so like, because I want everybody who's part of VCAT to get in. So just a couple years ago, I did a booth with like Rob Roman's voice. VRC DJ Live had just started, so I wanted to make sure he had a booth. So I put him at the top of my booth, and then I put Shadow Sensei's like poster in there, and then I put Sherbert's like avatar in there, and then I put my own stuff and my wife's stuff and everybody's stuff, and they all just like, I just made a giant booth with everybody's stuff in it. And you can do that. The other cool thing you could do is one of our GA members, DBQT, has made a prefab that allows you to shrink yourself down. And so you could make a very big booth in a very small space, because when you walk into it, you get shrunk. So you can just make everything sort of small and have it inside the booth and have as many floors as you want. The 3AM booth did that with Mr. Rue had built the 3AM, it's a VTuber group. They built a booth where the top part was an entire stage. Like, so you walk in and there's like you're in this environment with a bunch of people, but you walk through the door and the top floor is a gigantic stage area. So it's really, really cool. Hey, Pablos. Good to see you again. All right, let's go through this here. We do have a couple of ambassadors and GA members here right now, of course, and former ambassadors too. We got Deathmap, Pablos, and Shadow River are here, so if you guys have questions, you can ask them too. Also in the chat, the chat is busy, but there's nobody saying anything. It must be too early. Everybody's in bed. Is that what's going on? I was hoping to see more Euro friends here today. If you're in the chat, please say hi, or spam me with emojis or something. That works too. Just want to know you're here. Ah, that's what it is. Let's see. Is that why? All right, guys, let me reopen the chat for you. If you've been talking in the chat, I apologize. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Let's try. Are you there? Are you there, chat? Do you live? Chat is chatting? Okay, I can't see you guys. All right, I'm going to have to pull up the stream. I'm sorry. One moment. I didn't know you were there. I didn't know you were there. Ah! All right, let's see. Let me pull this up. Bam. Okay, now I can see you. Much better. I thought I was just by myself here. I didn't realize. There we go. Having a coffee to wake up. Okay, good. All right, so the reason why I want to make sure that the chat is here is because I'm going to have a Q&A session very soon. And if you guys have questions as well, I'd like to get those of you who are watching, because it's not an insignificant number of you. There's at least 25 now. All right. Happy Saturday. It is Pi Day. All right, so we're going to talk about the types of exhibits. We have two types. When you sign up, you have two options here. There's a single exhibit, and there is a multi-exhibition. I personally think, and this is just my personal opinion, I wouldn't necessarily suggest it that everybody does this, but my suggestion is to do multi-exhibit, because you still get to pick your top 3 worlds in every category. So for space, like for your space, like a full-size space, you can pick your top 3 spaces, but then you can do an item booth or a avatar booth as well. So the smaller spaces that are available, you can actually essentially pick 9 possible worlds that you could be in. You do run the chance of getting selected for multiple worlds, which means you can have multiple booths. And it allows you to have like a Quest compatible product and a PC compatible product, or whatever it is you want to do, or if it's world stuff, or you're doing gimmicks, or you're a VTuber, whatever you want. There is a second chance here. But the single exhibition is also okay if you really feel like, okay, I just want one booth, and it has to be one of these 3 worlds, right? So you get to pick your top 3 worlds with single exhibition, and you're basically saying, I can only handle doing one thing this time, but you know, like, give me all 3. So it's a little bit more simplified, but doing a multi-exhibition, you can have multiple allocations, and you have a potential allocation from your first and third choice in the first lottery. And the second lottery, this is where it differs. If a vacant slot exists in any of your preferred worlds by the second lottery, you are guaranteed to get in. With the second lottery, there's no allocations given in the first round, and vacant slots exist in a single exhibition, then you'll get selected. There's more chances with multi-exhibition, but you also run the chance of having more than one booth be selected. Now, you don't necessarily have to accept the registration in the multi-exhibition for the other ones, because you do have to say, yes, I agree, I'm going to exhibit in these worlds when you get the selection in. But it is nice to have more choice or more options, and potentially have more than one booth if you decide you want to do that. Finally, this is, like I said, it's essentially like a weighted ballot. You say, this is the top world I want to be in, 100% I want to be in this one. I wouldn't mind being in this one, and if I had to pick a third choice, it would be this one. And essentially, that's how this lines up for each type of exhibit. In multi-exhibit or in single exhibit, you're just picking 3. So you could pick, for example, a space exhibit. If you're doing single exhibit, you could pick a space exhibit, a item exhibit, and a something at the Alta Vista Focus, if you wanted to, for each of these. And each one of these selections would be a different type of exhibit, but you'll only get one. In a multi-exhibit, you get to pick 3 of each type, and you could get more than one. But also, because you've made more selections, you've made 9. You're more likely to get in, right? So that's a bit of a hack. The other hack about this, it comes down to which worlds are busy, and the fact that you can change your worlds. You can change your worlds as you go along. So by looking at this new chart that we have over there, you'll be able to decide if you want to modify your selections before the lottery goes live to up your chances of getting selected for a world. So if for example, you picked the first world in Deep Mist, and it's now full, you still want to be in Deep Mist, you could change to the second world of Deep Mist and increase your odds. All right. Finally, we have the avatar priority for Avatar Marketplace. I mentioned this earlier. Essentially, if you sell on VRChat's Avatar Marketplace, if you don't, anyone participating in the lottery from remaining spaces happens first. So you are much less likely to get in if the Alta Vista Focus is full, for example. You're less likely to get in if you aren't on Avatar Marketplace. So, because we have a gap in between when you have to submit your Avatar ID, we recommend that you apply for VRChat's Creator Marketplace ahead of time, and then you can say, yes, I've applied during the submission process. So you can say, when you make your selections during the sign up, you can say, I've applied for the Creator Marketplace. There's an option in there for that, and then it usually expedites the process of you getting into VRChat's Creator Marketplace, which is nice. And then if you are already, you enter the listing ID by the 19th. It says the 16th here, but it's the 19th. And then that will go to the second allocation, and then you're eligible to participate in the lottery for remaining spaces if you did not enter it by the second deadline. So by the first deadline, if you didn't have your ID yet, by the second deadline, you will have entered your ID, and then you'll definitely get any remaining spaces that are available. In fact, you might even bump off people who don't have an Avatar ID because we select you guys first. And then finally, if there's a large number of applicants, that we still might do a lottery if all of those applicants have Creator Economy IDs, which is probably unlikely at this point. But in the future, it might be possible, so that's why this caveat exists. But for the most part, if you are in Creator Economy, you're pretty much guaranteed to get into VCAT. All right, exhibit types. So we have a bunch here. We talked about spaces and items and avatar exhibits. A space exhibit, which is in most worlds, is effectively this giant space here. Now, the cool part about this world that Shadow River has built is that he's got some examples of what some of these spaces looked like in the past, and still some of them are roughly the same. So essentially, it's a Unity submission or a web submission. The booth maker is really fun, even if you're not in VCAT yet. You can try Boothmaker. So if you create a VCAT account on vcat.com, when you click on your ID at the top right in my page, you can actually click on Boothmaker and it'll take you there, so you can try it out if you'd like to. But if you know your way around Unity, you can do a lot of really amazing stuff. You can make the most of this 4x4x4 space here, which we have right here. And so this is this gigantic blue box behind me. This is actually the size of a regular booth. So a regular space exhibition, again, 4x4x5 meters. You can use Udon. You can use your own shaders. You can use your own texture editing. You can do like toggles, mesh toggles, whatever you want to do. You can also include the lighting and reflection effects of your own. You can modify the lighting effects that are in there, and then we provide a bunch of prefabs for things like seats and toggles and like your social media pages and just about anything you could want. They're all there. Also, you can have. Also, you can be in any one of these worlds with that, right? Inside a standard space exhibition, we also have special gimmicks in these three worlds. So in Voltiger, Cocoon Art Aquarium, and Sky Park. So in Voltiger, I mentioned earlier, you've got the option to have a gimmick that turns your item in the booth into a prize. So it's a prefab you slap on your avatar, and then we take that one mesh and turn it into a prize that you can win in the world. Now, they're not actually getting it for free. It's just part of the fun of the world itself. But it does make it so that your avatar or whatever it is you're selling in that world is like super giant in the center of the world every now and then. And then in Cocoon Art Aquarium, you've got exhibits that are placed so that all sides. So in that it's like an inset. So if you've ever been to a Cocoon Art, it's got this inset booth that's in there. So you see the front and you can kind of build. You don't have to worry about like the sides of it being open. And Sky Park are covered. So as you go by, the exhibits are sort of covered with this like tarp, and as you walk by them, they kind of open up. So space exhibitions for Poppy Street are different. Poppy Street is bound to be extremely popular. But yeah, don't worry about creating empty slots, even if the second lottery. Yes, don't worry. You won't create an empty slot. You could always give your... I'm just answering the chat here also, but you can also give you can have someone join your circle. So I would recommend, if you do multi-exhibition and you get into more than one slot and you're worried about creating an empty slot, be your circle leader for someone else who didn't get into VCAT. I think that's the best thing to do in that situation. So I deeply appreciate that you don't want any empty slots in VCAT, because neither do we. We built a lot of these systems to prevent that, which is why we did it that way. And so invite someone in who didn't get in. Poppy Street's a little different. Poppy Street's booths are deeper, so we don't have an example of it here, but it's close to the second one and then further back. So it's 3 meters deep by 6.5 meters 3 meters wide, so it's narrow, by 6.5 meters deep, by 5 meters tall. So you could have 2 floors, for example, inside Poppy Street. The cool thing about Poppy Street, too, is it's got this little door in the front, and then also 2 posters, right? So you can have, like, 2 signs on the outside of it, and it's going to be shaped like, you know, to give you that same atmosphere of Poppy Street and VRChat, it's going to be shaped like that as well. So this one should be pretty fun. So they're placed inside of a storefront. Go ahead.
Also, different missing information is that there's gonna be 10 megabytes compressed size limit.
That's right. Yeah, a little smaller.
Draw calls.
Yeah, that's true. That's missing from here. You're absolutely right. I should have included that on the slide. You're absolutely right about that. So yeah, Poppy Street Pale Dawn. Yeah, it's one of the only new theme venues that hasn't reached full limit. That's a good point. Yeah, we'll go look at the chart again in a minute. But yes, it has not quite reached there yet. You have the option to set up images and sideboards, and you've got like a 1 by 2 meter entrance. So it's going to expect avatars to be of average size. That is one difference with this one. All right. A couple pictures of what Poppy Street might look like. This is the outside of the bar, or like what the booth is going to look like. In this case, this one's themed like a bar. And you've got, you know, like the 2 posters. So there's a standard like Japan style izakaya bar stand on the outside, and then you've got the actual building like name here, and then on the inside, go ahead.
Those booths are in Poppy Street, so you can check that out. I think.
Yeah, it's gonna look. It is based on it. It is gonna look a lot different. So we are doing it with Coquelico's guidance, but it's still Poppy Street, but it will be like a new version of it. And then he's but being done by other people, but it will be very similar. You're right. If you go to regular Poppy Street, you will see that Poppy Street has these little bars, and they're very similar in design. This one as well, you'll see like this one's set up like a bar, but this one has a second floor, and you could do that in these as well. And of course, you've also got all the udon gimmicks. You can do things like shrink people down. So if you wanted like the bottom to be a bar and the top to be like an immersive space, you could do that too by shrinking people as they go upstairs. There's all kinds of cool things you can think of. And if, again, coming to the How's Your Progress meetup is the best thing to learn those kinds of tricks and the kinds of things you can do with them, right? Finally, item exhibitions are a little different. They've got 1 meter by 1 meter by 2 meters tall. And this can be an avatar, it can be an accessory, it could be a weapon, it could be an udon gimmick, it could be whatever you want it to be. We've had people put shaders in there even, so like you can showcase something even if it's not necessarily like a 3D model. Item exhibitions are a single item. They're usually packed into a group of 3 or more, or 2 to 3 rather, inside of sections. And inside Ardella, all the little small exhibits are going to be arranged as a group this time. So we're going to have a section of Ardella as you go through it. There's going to be like a bunch of different item exhibitions that are all sort of together. So it's going to feel like a little bit better. It won't be like a random booth in the middle of other booths. It should be like this big section with a bunch of them, which should be pretty cool. So that's one change we're making this time. Oedo Mechanica is a new venue that has items available in it. Item exhibition. Yes, yeah, it has to be just an item by itself. It can be an udon gimmick, but you have to explain it in the booth. Yeah, you'll have to make some kind of like page of what it is. But the best part is you can also have your catalog page open up as well. So you're allowed the catalog button. So at least that works, right? So you could even make the item that you click bring up your store page. So you can be creative with it. You can use our prefabs, but you can't make your own. So there's a few other things like that. There's also two different submission sizes. So if it's something small, like it can be on top of a pedestal. But that's going to be in Cocoon Art as well as Ardella and Oedo Mechanica. You won't be able to do item booths in the other ones. There'll be regular booths in more. Do you need a fully set booth through the website's booth maker or Unity for applying? No, you absolutely do not have to have anything ready, and I'm glad you asked because this is like the most important thing. Everybody thinks that. You do not have to have anything ready at all by now, and not by the 19th of March either, when the submission period or when the sign-up period ends. You do not have to have that, and you don't actually have to submit for another 2 months. So don't worry about that at all. You don't have to have anything ready at all. Doing in a booth with Boothmaker generally takes an afternoon. So you can do it in a couple of hours. It really takes no time at all. So don't be stressed about that at all. But you don't have to worry until March. Or sorry, you don't have to worry till May. So it's a ways from now. No worries there. So all you need is an idea and a dream, and then you can submit, right? Or you can apply, rather, sign up. So no application, no Unity submission, no anything. The only thing you have to have by the time the lottery is up is is very specific. If you are in Creator Economy and you already have an ID for Creator Economy and you want to skip the line and be immediately accepted into VCAT, that's something that you would have to have early. That's the only thing. All right. Finally, cross-platform exhibition. So this is specific to Alta Vista Focus. This is specifically just for avatar displays. It has to be a humanoid avatar and it has to be cross-platform. And we will animate them for you and do a bunch of other stuff to make it feel very immersive. These avatars should be, they'll be in and around the mall. If you went to our map Utopia previously, you get an idea of how we've set that up and what that's like now. So it is a little bit different, and we have, it's going to be a little bit different than last time. But you can go visit this map to see what it looks like. But generally speaking, the exhibition is going to be a little different in this setup. So if you've already registered your avatars at Avatar Marketplace, you're going to get priority in the lottery, and applicants are currently under review will be given second priority. So what that means is during the, and I highly recommend this, if you've ever thought about selling anything on VRChat's Creator Economy, now is the time to apply, because if you apply during VCAT and you say you've applied during VCAT, VRChat knows about that, and then, or at least we let them know, I think. And then the second part of it is that by the second lottery, you're automatically in if there's any slots left, like 100%. Like you get priority above anybody else who's not selling on the Avatar Marketplace, so you might even bump other users off, which it is a very big encouragement to be in Creator Economy when you do that. So, yeah. What else? You have to enter the listing ID, and then finally you can provide at the end of the payment period. So. This is an excerpt of the rules for this. So if you want to know more about that, they're on the website. Oh, of course. Yes. In the Discord server. Yes. So I had a question here as well. Is in the Discord server, is it possible to have some help with writing the Japanese version of your blurb? 100%. You can ask in our Discord, VCAT GT, or you can ask in the VCAT Exhibitors Discord, which is a different Discord. If you go to vcat.com and you go into your My Page section and click the Q&A or Help section, there's a button to a link to both of those Discords, and there's an EN Japanese help channel on the Exhibitors Discord that I highly recommend checking out. It's a good one. All right, we'll skip over this for now. We will have other ways that you can jump into. I've been asked to not talk about them for now. So how to submit. So this previous bit. Actually, I can talk about the second one. So logo exhibition, nor the top one. Logo exhibitions will be coming up soon. We'll have basically, if you have a community in VRChat or you have a logo that you'd like to share and bring it into the VCAT worlds, we'll have a form for that in the near future. Here's how to submit. So if you're going to use Unity, we got a couple of slides here just to give you a basic idea of what it's like. It's not complicated. Essentially, we have, you download VCAT tools, you install them in Unity. It's just an extension for Unity, just like VRChat's SDK. We have really detailed instructions on how to do that. It's super easy. So if you're going to submit through Unity, you essentially just add the features you want. You put your model inside of the box, and then you check it for its draw calls, whether it's formatted correctly, whether everything's on the right layer, and the SDK will guide you through all the steps that you need to do that. You'll see here that there's like a submission process. You have a booth image as well. This helps create your catalog, and then it goes through a baking process where it sort of spins around, and then it sends it to our servers. And those servers sort of sit there, and as we get booth applications, we start uploading them as often as twice a day or more. And every one of the worlds will continuously get updated. And after the first week of the submission process, after the first 5 or 7 days, then you're able to actually go to the world through vcat.com's My Page section. You'll have a link to the world that you were selected to, and you can go visit a preview of the world itself. All right, let's go. We also have Booth Maker. So I mentioned this earlier. You can get to it really easy by just, like it used to be, you have to go to VCAT Cloud and find it and find the Booth Maker add-on and all this other stuff. You don't do any of that anymore. You just go to vcat.com, you sign in with your My Page, click on your button at the top right, and then click Booth Maker, and it takes you right there. Booth Maker is as easy as playing The Sims, or what's another game that's like this? IMVU, or like Gaia, basically like making a house in Gaia, or making a house in Final Fantasy XIV. You know, it's as simple as that. All you got to do is drag some prefabs in there. Now, I should mention this, and I didn't last time, either our last session, but we also have a e-commerce site for Booth Maker and Avatar Maker. So for avatarmaker.vcat.com and for Booth Maker, we have something called Marsh, where you can sell accessories and parts and whatever you want on the webpage. There is a there is a whole section for that where you can effectively buy things from other users, but you can also sell them too. So not just at VCAT, you could create accessories for avatars, that sort of thing. Avatar Maker isn't in here in this slideshow, but Avatar Maker, there's a link to it over there. Avatar Maker is a built-in avatar creation suite. And we're one of the only companies that has the ability to upload to VRChat without Unity. So you can create an Avatar Maker of your own custom design. You can even customize the textures with your own, like you can edit them in Photoshop or Krita or GIMP and upload them directly to our website and then upload that avatar directly to VRChat. But if you're a seller and you're creating content like hats or accessories or anything like that, you can also sell them on that marketplace. And the same goes for Booth Maker and Marsh. You can sell different assets that you can put into a booth, and you can list them as a item on our website there too. But we give you a ton of additional prefabs and a lot of the like cool accessories and different items, things scattered around in some of the VCAT worlds over the years have made it into Booth Maker. So you can use things like our DJ panels from Music VCAT, or tables and countertops and different things from the entrance worlds and other things like that, and plants and all that. So all of those things are available. But the other cool thing you can do is that you can still, even using Booth Maker, you can still use a video player and image loader and your group link and all that other stuff. Most of the features that are available in doing a Unity submission are also here. The last thing I want to say about Booth Maker is that it's a really good stopgap if you're worried about not getting your booth done in time. You can go in and create a Booth Maker booth in an afternoon with all the information that you need to get out there to talk about whatever it is that you want to showcase at VCAT. Put that in, and then you can start on your Unity project, and then every time you upload via Unity, you overwrite the Booth Maker version, and if for some reason you're unable to get your booth finished in time, you can just go back to the Booth Maker version and upload it again, and it'll clear out your Unity submission, and you'll have something ready. So it's a great way to make sure that everybody's booth gets done. So yeah, I recommend playing around with it. Works pretty good. If you have a VPN to Japan, sometimes it works a little bit faster. Some ISPs are a little bit funky about it, but for the most part, I find that it works really, really well. All right. You can also do it on a mobile phone. That is probably the biggest flex I could possibly say. You can just do it on your cell phone or your iPad or whatever. It works really, really well like that. We've got these cute little graphics thanks to that project being a thing. So, all right. So Q&A, we're going to do it over there. So I'm going to go grab my local grab, and we're going to slide right over here. I'm going to grab my microphone. I'm over here now. We're over here. This side. All right. Yes, you can do it from your phone, believe it or not. If you are not big on Unity, you can do it from your phone. All right, so Shadow was kind enough to put in here the status update that we just released, an hour ago? So, 2 hours ago maybe. This is the essentially the setup for everything. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my cone of silence. There we go. There we go. We'll have to play around with these mics. I'd get you one. We'll make them kinematic. We'll make them go to your hand. We'll give you a good. We'll give you a cool microphone setup. Yeah, it is a bit loud. So I think if you guys are close enough, if you can hear me, I won't use it for now. But it's going to be so handy when we do the World Hop, let me tell you. I guess again, some housekeeping before we start Q&A. If you are new here, I'm Lun. I'm from Virtual Market. I've got some ambassadors here with me as well, and GA members. Pablos, feel free to pop up here. Deathmap, you can too, if you'd like. And anybody here who's been asking questions or wants to ask more questions to me, now is the session for Q&A. To do that, I have to find some water, though, before my throat dies. I definitely do. But this poster is effectively where we are at in the last little bit. This is the current layout of all of the content that's here. And just one moment. All right. This is the current layout of all the content that's here, and where everybody has applied since the 11th. So, yeah, scaled cube mic model. I love it. So, so what we have here is, once again, the worlds and how many there are. And I said this at the beginning, but I know a bunch of you have just joined us. So the important part to remember is this is just first choice. So everybody gets 3 choices even in a single exhibit. And first choice, second choice, third choice and this is just the first choice. So 1,014 different individuals or groups of individuals have applied to VCAT so far, and we're only at the midway point. The submissions were going to be on the 16th, but they've been extended to the 19th. So you have a little bit longer to apply to VCAT, but application only takes about 30 seconds. So you do not need to go crazy when it comes to that submission. You don't have to have everything ready. You don't have to even know what you want to do. You can even use our worlds as a guide. But yeah, that is the most important thing. But if you're new here, I'm Lon. I'm from Virtual Market. I'm the global coordinator. Thank you. I'm the global coordinator here and influencer relations. That is my official title. But I also run the World Hop and I guess I'm a VTuber now. So we do a little bit of that. We do a little bit of VTubing. I'm here. I usually stream anywhere from 1 to 4 times a week on VCAT channel, which is what is up over there. But I'm also on X. I'm also on Kick. I'm also on Facebook occasionally. Sometimes we're on TikTok. You can find us just about everywhere. But yeah, so feel free to come join us. We go explore nostalgic VCAT worlds every single week on Wednesday or Thursday, or showcase community groups, which is something we did last week. But since we're in the period where we are taking submissions for VCAT, it's important that we get as many people in as possible, and that does seem to be working. We would love to get as many Western, or rather global exhibitors, like people outside of Japan, as possible, because the more of you that apply and are part of VCAT, the more Hickey and Virtual Market are encouraged to have more content for other people all over the world, right? We're also looking for partnerships with things like conventions. We also like to work with Western companies. We've had GamerSups and a few others in the past, and we'd love to have you again. And of course, those corporate sponsorships are still there. So if you are a convention entity, I know there's one of you here today. If you're a convention entity and you'd like to talk with me about us being there, or something like that, it's totally I'm your guy. So it's lon@vrhickey.com, or you can find me on Discord. If you're inside VRChat, it's in here, but my Discord is lun with a dot, LHUN with a dot. Anyway, so if you currently have applied to VCAT or haven't yet, you can use this graphic as a bit of a cheat to almost guarantee that you can get in. If you're doing a multi-exhibit, you're pretty much guaranteed to get in on avatar exhibits, especially if you have a Creator Economy account. And when it comes to item exhibitions, these are pretty open right now. We've increased the number of possible things that you can, or number of possible exhibitors in total, because some of the worlds have 3, so there's a lot more room, right? You'll see here that there is over here. We have only 2 out of the 12 possible in Cocoon Art Aquarium for item exhibitions. 5 out of the 12 and 9, right? So these are pretty small. The second world for Poppy Street is basically like a 1 in it's like a 98 out of 100 chance you're going to get into the moment. But a few others, these each have 20 slots each, so they're a little bit smaller. But a few of the other ones aren't completely full yet. Like for example, Cocoon Art Aquarium Redive for a full-size booth. You're basically guaranteed if we held the lottery today. And all other ones are getting close to being full. Some very, very popular ones, for some reason, Sky Park Daylight is extremely popular. We have double the number of people in there. So if you applied for Sky Park Renew in the Daylight version, I would recommend switching your application to the Moonlight version so that your odds of getting in are much higher. That's something I would do in this case, right? And you can move your exhibition slot up until the lottery period. So that's where we're at. Okay, Q&A. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Feel free to ask.
I have one.
Mm-hmm.
So, related to the VCAT Hub event
Yes.
form, you can fill them out before the event starts, right?
Yeah, you can do it right now, actually, which is kind of crazy.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is that it's really early. So to find it again, what you do is you go to VCAT.com. You scroll down on the bottom. There's a button called Hub, and if you click on the Hub, you should be able to make an event already. I think someone did. Mm-hmm. No worries. But yeah, it's there for you. So that's a regular event, but if you want to apply as a community or whatever, but it lets you select like which world you would host your event in and all that sort of stuff. That's all available now. So
It's actually near the top. It's next to world.
that's right. Yeah. So events are great. I'm glad that that's already there because I wasn't expecting that part of it to be up yet. And as I mentioned before, we have different kinds of events that we host. So, like there's ambassador events, there's community events, there's user created events, which is what you'd be applying for now. And then, but those are just events that are held during VCAT, right? and then we will have collab streamers at some point as well. One other thing that happens with that is that the collab streamers or any live stream that's happening that is linked to an official collab stream gets slapped into our webpage. So what's really cool about that is that you, when VCAT's going on, if anyone opens a catalog item inside of the worlds, what ends up happening is the catalog will load the webpage to that, but then the live stream will be embedded in the bottom right. And by doing that, essentially, we're giving you free views for anybody who happens to be streaming while people are exploring VCAT, which is kind of nice. So it's not botting because we're using Twitch's official embed API, so it's all good.
One thing about those numbers, those are only first choices.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
Second choice, yeah. So probably there's a lot of second choices on items.
That's right. But we give it to first choice people first. So remember, it's a weighted average lottery. So if you have if your first choice was Alter Vista Focus, you're getting in.
So that's only for first choices.
That's right.
'Cause
So
I suspect there's 0, but there's probably some second choices.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. These are first choice. There's 25 people have made Alter Vista Focus their first choice, which is actually kind of surprising to me. So it's cool to see. The way we run the lottery is first choice, second choice, third choice, and what's available. That's how that goes. And then, of course, anybody in creator economy first, right? Question can be anything. It can be related to applying for VCAT, or it could be anything else. Go ahead.
I suppose not really a question, but I've just noticed the lottery time has changed.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's right. This schedule will get updated soon.
Yeah. Just in case people don't know, I think it's the 22nd.
The countdown is updated.
Yeah, the countdown. Yeah, the countdown is updated in here. So up there, this red clock. Alrighty. Yeah, a little early today. We got more going on though. There will be additional events tomorrow. VRCAs, so VR Community Awards. Yeah, looking forward.
PM, right?
I think so. 7 or 8 p.m.
European.
I'm not sure the exact time, but it should be.
It shows me 8 PM.
Yeah, Euro time. Okay, yeah. So same time as this event was. We'll probably have a watch party or two.
1 hour early. Okay, 1 hour later than the 7.
Oh yeah, okay.
7, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So it should be pretty fun. We're in there. The Nostalgia Storybook Worlds are also in there as a an actual entry, and then we have a ton of our ambassadors and friends. All have a lot of them have made it to the second round, which is very, very cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing who wins. Puck has done amazing things. We made a cool little video together about the VRCAs, and they were in Nostalgia Storybook as well in the Pirate World. Midway through, they had this lovely little booth, and so we did a video for them to sort of promote applications and voting for the VRCAs, and Puck, of course, had us in as a partner of Virtual Market generally, as a partner at the last one, as well as this one, as a event collaborator. So we're pretty excited to see who's in there, and I think it should be a really good time. There's always something super awesome happening in VRChat, and it's great to celebrate them. Yeah, I think that's it. The only thing I have left, unless you guys have any questions beyond the ones we've already had, is a group photo, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah. Okay. Photo time. Alrighty. I'm gonna grab my camera and we'll go set it up over here.
Literally 6 years.
All right. So let's go over here. So I'll set this up. Since we've got a timer, and also the number of you who are here, and as well on top of here we have how many people in the chat? We've got.
I think my friend's team just fell asleep.
Oh no! Don't say that. I put them to sleep. Lots to talk about.
It's Indonesia.
Yeah, I understand. It is late. Yeah, it is late. So let's see here. Let me just pull this up, pull this down. So we got 20 of you also. So I'm gonna raid somebody too. So we will raid somebody on Twitch as well. We'll have to see. You guys will have to take a peek around and see who's there. Thanks to Deathmap, Pablos, and Shadow for being here. Shadow, thank you again for updating the world. I gotta thank Haya Chikaze for putting together my lovely little slideshow, as well as the updated information panel that we have over there that Shadow put through in the world. So she put that together pretty quick because we found out that was happening not too long ago. Ray Reka for all of our stuff. You should definitely check out our Presley as well if you got a chance. That is our general news site. I'm going to put a link in the chat, actually. Or maybe Shifter can. Shifter, you're there, right? virtual-market.presley.com. Can you slap that in there? Put the link in there for anybody on Twitch. Much easier. Yeah, she got the message. That's for sure. Come on back. All right, group photo's gonna be here. We're gonna face this way. Please put your favorite sticker on the wall. Maybe for your community, you could advertise your community, anything like that. Any group or anything you'd like to do. But yeah, come please stand with us. We're gonna face this way. This is how I feel this week. Right there. This is how I feel this week. It's been a busy one.
Did I turn off my wings?
Yeah, if you want to. You can leave them on too. There's not a ton of us here, so it's all good. Yeah.
Okay, come here.
Group photo.
I like
I don't know how to say group photo in Indonesian.
She understands English.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, please come this way. Face this way. Yeah. All right. I'll get you guys in here. Yeah, please come on in. Let me show everybody real quick. I think some of you are still in. I thought Chunky Cat was just blocked for me, but apparently not. They're just in Emoji Pen. An Emoji Poly avatar.
Let me change my
BREZLEY. Yes. Check it first. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. This is our 5th session or 6th session, I think we've done. And recently we just did like community world hops as well. We're gonna do more of those. Tomorrow we'll probably be in here hanging out watching the VRCAs, and we'll also be we'll also be busy again next week, where we'll be doing the world hop on, I think, the 18th. Yeah. Which coincidentally is my birthday, so it should be pretty fun. It was. I guess I should.
After Patty's.
Yeah, we should also.
what month?
Of this month. So I should also say happy birthday to Hug Rabbit. I did not get an opportunity to go to her party last night, but it was their birthday. So happy belated birthday or early birthday. I think it's early actually for Hug Rabbit too. So early birthday for Hug Rabbit. Happy birthday to them. They had a party in here. It was pretty cool. But yeah, there's always something going on. And if you want to hang out, we have a pretty great group. It's VCAT GT3224. All right, I'm gonna take that picture, and then we're gonna raid somebody. We gotta find somebody to raid. Maybe Shifter, you can help me with that. It's a bit early. We gotta figure out who we're raiding.
Little Mary is online.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh, Little Miri is online. Really? Gen 1 ambassador. Is she streaming VRChat?
Yeah.
Nice. She's from Czechoslovakia. We're gonna grab her. So we're gonna raid her in a moment. Yeah, I'll grab a couple photos of you guys. Thanks for coming again. Once again, it was super great to have you all here. Thanks for listening to me ramble about VCAT. You have a little bit more time now. You got 4 days to apply, so please do. And if you've got, if you know anybody who you think should be part of VCAT, feel free to have them be part of that application process. What else? Also, we're taking community booth applications still to this day. So if you want to get in as a community booth, you can find that information on everything on our on our Discord. All the information is down on the doobly-doo as well. So for the 26 of you watching here, 26 or more, we're going to go ahead and raid Little Miri. And again, thanks for coming, everybody. If you'd like, we can talk about some of these worlds over there and maybe visit a couple offline. So if you'd like to come do that with us, it is VCAT GT3224. Okay, I think it's it. I've said all the things. All right, guys, thanks again. And we'll see you in a day or two. All right. Here we go. Rating there.
Do you do Prince?
I can do a print.